Let's move on. In North Africa, the latest round of peace talks for South Sudan has ended without a deal. The East African regional body, IGAD, had proposed a power-sharing agreement with 3 new positions of vice president, one going to the exiled rebel leader, Riek Machar. Mabior Garang, a member of the rebel forces known as the SPLA, or SPLA, says the proposed deal is unfair as it maintains the status quo with power mainly in the government's hands. Since President Salva Kiir and Mr. Machar, his former vice president, fell out almost 5 years ago, more than 4 million people had been displaced by conflict in South Sudan and thousands have been killed. Well, let's get more on the story from an African affairs analyst, Declan Ihekere. Glad you could join us on the program.
Thank you so much.
Well, so much back and forth in, South Sudan. Why do you think, yet again, they failed to reach a deal?
Of course, there's no way a reasonable deal could be reached in South Sudan. I've said it time with that number that the problem in South Sudan is that you have some set of leaders there who are interested in taking charge of the whole of what belongs to everybody in South Sudan. And you are bound to see sentiments. You are bound to see people revolting against such a position. And now it is very clear that the government in power is not ready for peaceful resolution of the crisis there, because IGAD has set in. That's the body that is responsible in brokering the peace there. But it's like from the sharing formula that has been made open now as a kind of proposal, power still rests with the governing power in South Sudan now, and that cannot be okay with the rebel leaders. So you are bound to see more fracas in South Sudan until the will of the people, until the leadership in that country decide to toe the line of peace properly.
How do you suggest that the gaps will be narrowed, as you have just said now, that all this may just prolong the conflict?
Yeah, you see, when there's a war, there's always room for people to judge, and you judge on round table. And you see, if you are discussing on a round table, what you see that happens on a round table is that every discussion there, every sharing formula goes round, and everybody feels it. But what is happening in South Sudan now is not a round table thing. It's like the winners want to take it all, and it cannot be possible. It cannot be possible in conflict resolution. In every warring nation or in every conflict, you are bound to see a situation where it's win-win for all, not win for all and lose for others. Because when that happens, you are bound to see people revolt against such an authority. And so what I expect in South Sudan now is that people, the leaders there, should forget about self and think about the people they want to govern. What is the situation in South Sudan today? Are the people really happy with what's on ground? Are they really happy dying for reasons best known to the leaders? Now, until leaders come to the realization of the fact that, look, we should lead by example. We should forget about self. Then we should begin to think about the people. I believe strongly sharing the power will come very easy, and everybody in South Sudan will benefit from it.
Right, this seems to be the sentiment of, a member of the rebel forces, Garang, who says the proposed deal is unfair because, the balance still tilts in favor of the government. Do you share?
I share his sentiment. And that was why I said when there's war and there's an avenue for people to resolve, you shouldn't be in position to want to take all. You should be able to give out certain things. When you give out those things, then those who are mediating will also see reason that you are giving out things. But it's not when you are withholding things and feel that the other party will be happy. It's not possible. Now the children who have been held, who have been used as child soldiers in the past, some of them had been released to go. But I can assure you that very soon there will be more recruitment, because every bloc in this struggle in South Sudan will also want to have their own army ready for war. And if that happens, I assure you South Sudan will still go down the drain.
Right, African Affairs Analyst Declan Ihekere, thank you for your time on the program today.
You're welcome.
Well, still to come on the program. Algeria announces plans to expel 105 Malians as part of its anti-terror war. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.